that's only 17% of borrowers have access to money.
What's called the berry button, big red button that I hit.
Hey, remember that?
Right?
And, oh yeah, I love it.
All right, welcome back to season 3 of Laugh, Lend, and Eat the podcast. And this is episode 1. And man, I have my dear drinking buddy friend on here. And I think this is what John was talking about. That Alex wrote a song.
You did a loan for
Yeah,
baby.
This is how we kick off 2022, baby.
You refight them later.
See?
It's as if you know what we're working on. We got another one coming out.
How could they go with someone else after your?
Yes.
That's how we roll around here, Alex. Welcome, man.
Thank you, brother.
So-
Cheers. Happy New Year.
Thank you, brother. Happy New Year to you too. So
Thank
we're
you.
gonna get into the song later, but that's a hell of a song you wrote, man. Now it sounds like your voice, but I could be wrong. Is that you singing?
That was not my voice. That was not my voice. There's an amazing artist. His name is Jason Randolph. He's the one that's his voice.
It had
He
that
actually
tone, though. I mean, you could sing that. You had that.
I mean,
don't know-
I probably could. I don't have the
I was
confidence
a
yet
music
to be on the
major. I
mic.
was a music major in college, right? So for me, like when I hear tones, I'm like, oh, that's Alex singing it. But okay, who knows?
It's a huge
So look,
compliment.
Yeah, brother. You must have the rhythm because I see the art behind you.
Oh, that's right. I have those are the kids. That's the kids' art, but yes, they get it from somewhere. And look, we got another one coming out. So just watch out.
Another
This quarter is another one coming out, a fun one.
All right,
They're all
I'm gonna get distracted with you, so we're gonna stick to the questions, okay? Hang tight. So look, Alex is the CEO, co-founder, chief ROI booster of Sales Boomerang. He is the 2021 Housing Wire Vanguard Award winner, which is huge. Any of my listeners who don't know what the Vanguard, it's like you have, the Housing Wire subscription member, then you have the Insider Award, then you have the Vanguard Award. So I'm right above the subscription of Housing Wire. I got the Insider, but Alex got the Vanguard Award. And so that's major props to you, brother. Major props.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So look, man, let's start off this show a little bit because it is the first week of 2022, right? And so everyone's making resolutions and all that stuff, and so everyone picks new words, new things, right, Alex? I want to ask you something. Is there a word you don't want to bring into 2022?
That I don't want to bring into 2000.
Yeah, so like for me, I'll share with you why this question got tripped.
Tell me, I love this question.
A year ago, I was tired of the word authentic. Right. And I was like, man, everyone's like authentic. Like, I mean, like, and then this year I got sick of the word thought leader. Like, I don't want to hear the word thought, right? I mean, you heard that last year, right? So authentic, thought leader, visionary. It's like, if you have to say all that stuff about you, then really, are you authentic? Are you really a thought leader? Like,
listen, I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. You have to be called authentic and genuine, not say it yourself, right?
Yeah. So for you, man,
it's a third-party description.
What's one word you don't want to hear in 2022, man?
My goodness, that's tough because everything I think about is words that bring you down, and that's the first thing. Like, what is a word that I don't want to hear that brings you down, and it's self-inflicted pain, right? Not something real. It's just self-inflicted. You're just judging yourself. So let's see. Maybe just like self pity, or just like,
oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, something like that. More of an action than a word.
Yeah.
No more crying yourself a river. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Give it up.
I like that. No more blues in 22.
No more blues in 22. Yeah, I like that.
It rhymes,
that's the name of the album we're dropping.
No more blues in 22.
That's the next Christmas album.
All right, man. I expect my little piece of the chunk on that one, man.
Hey, you heard it here. It's trademarked already.
That's awesome. So anyway, so no more blues in 22. So to go along with that, Alex, walk me through this. Like, yes. I've seen you in action, right? Because I never really met you before we met in Tampa last year, right?
Yes. But it felt like we knew each other for years.
It did. It was weird. It was like you were like my long lost brother or something. I felt this kinship. I mean that, by the way. I'm not just saying
you owe me 39 birthday gifts then. I'm just saying.
I probably
long
do.
lost brother. 39.
I'll start sending you T-shirts and all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff. I got plenty of swag, brother. I got all
That's
sorts of
right.
39 different
I'll wear
colors.
it proudly.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
you'll throw me off my questions, okay? Don't do this.
Sorry.
I go down rabbit holes like you don't want to know. So when you, because the interesting thing about you that I wrote on here, right? So and you just kind of walk right into it. You're
Of
like an
course.
action person. You're like I read somewhere like when you think of something, you like boom. That's like you go do it right away. You see an opportunity.
Where did you
boom.
read that? That's
Oh.
That's my superpower.
Well, because when I invite people on, I want to know who I'm talking with, right? And so
Dude,
now
that's
I'm hearing you say exactly the opposite. Like you don't want to hear people being self-pity, no more blues in 22, even though we're joking about it.
yeah.
But in my mind, I say, oh my God, well, that's right in line with his personality. Because you
That's
seem to be taking action like nobody's business, brother. So walk us through like what makes you so like boom, you see something, you do it.
Oh, let me tell you how much I love this question and how this realization came to me this past year. It's really crazy. So because I believe, okay, my own fear of possibly forgetting something, I take action. So like when I read a book and in this book, someone mentions something brilliant about a sales concept.
Mhm.
And I listen, I'm audible. So I pause it, I pick up the phone and I call somebody and I use exactly the thing that I just learned with that person right there on the spot, because then it becomes mine. It's no longer the book's idea. I've practiced it. This is how I do it now.
Yeah.
And so for me, action is about building habits, building muscle memory, right? And that's why I take action so quickly. It's a fear of forgetting and not being able to do it or something. So I'm like, I really love it. I want to make sure it works the way it's described. And if it is, I'm in. That's just an example with a book. If I have any ideas that I want to take action on, I just take action. I live life, and you and I may have talked about this. If it doesn't feel good, I don't do it. And I only do the things I love to do. And so when I think of something that's going to feel good, I just go and do it.
You know, I think the problem with most people, Alex, I mean, is that they hear an idea, they read a book, whatever. Only 5% of the people are actually executing, if that, right? I mean, I say 5%. Some have said 2%. I don't know what the actual number is.
Yeah.
So you're part of that very elite group that actually gets an idea, hears an idea, reads an idea, audibles an idea, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And boom, you're like right on top of it right away. Have you been like that your entire life, or is it something that you learned because you failed enough or something?
Definitely failed enough. But that's a good thing. Everyone should embrace failing, right? That's good. That's the being comfortable, being uncomfortable part of our lives. Have I always been an action taker? Well, I have to imagine I have been, because I've always been a fun-loving person.
Okay.
Like for me, fun is everything. Like, let's just have some fun. Like, and there's never been anything in my life that I didn't think I would be able to accomplish if I really wanted to. Like I've never been afraid to take an action into something, because there is, and again, this has just been my personality. Just, this is what I've just always done, is let's see what happens. Like that's my, like, let's see what happens. Right.
What's the worst thing, right? You'll fail. What's the worst thing?
What's the word? And you know, when people hear this, people are like, "Oh, of course you say that now. You're 39. You've lived a life, so you can, think about it that way." But they're right. I couldn't articulate it this way, but I just did it. That's how I felt, and I
Could
just
you have had the same feeling when you were 19, though?
19.
I mean, 20 years ago, could you have had the same attitude that you did right now, 20 years ago?
I will put my mom and dad on the phone right now and let them tell you.
That's solid, brother.
Yeah, I started my first business at 20.
Okay.
Here's what I did. You ready? You want me? Here's some proof.
Please.
I'm going to give you a few stories of proof. Okay.
Let's do it.
I went to college for one reason only: to play soccer. Okay. Once I was done with soccer, I was done with college. I left, started my first company. Right. That's what I left college, started my first company. That's all I wanted to do. When my company that I started, which was in the medical business first, became boring. True story. Nothing else. There's nothing more to it. It was just boring. Me and my buddy started another business. I gave my share to my partner at such a discount. I just wanted to go. And I was 23 years old. It's whatever. It's done that for 3 years. Because it became boring, it was time to do something else. It wasn't because business was failing. It was great, right? Everything was going great. I was just bored with it. Same
Okay.
thing happened over and over and over again in all kinds of places in my life where once it stopped being fun, I was just out. And I didn't realize, see, I can articulate this then. I realize now that that's what I was doing. I was being bored and I had to move. I was being bored. I had to move. And so I don't think it was a learned behavior at 19 years old. I believe that's just my personality and it's just maturing.
So how do you stay hungry then? I mean, the question comes like if because to me boredom and hunger kind of like, you know what I mean, is going hand in hand. Like at a certain point, do you get? I mean, I hate to say this. I hope no one gets offended, but do you get bored of Sales Boomerang and say I'm done?
Oh, great question. The answer will be yes at one point. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. So sales. So why am I loving Sales Boomerang? Every business that I've built, I love because of the idea of, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I like to build things that the next generation will appreciate. Right.
Okay.
So think about that. You build something that the next generation will appreciate. That's as selfless as you can get. And I don't do it because of that. I just do it because it's fun. But it does accomplish both things. So I build businesses fast in a manner of fast growth, domination style of business development. That's my style. That's what I enjoy, fast growth. So I'll tell you when I'm bored with Sales Boomerang. When Sales Boomerang reaches a level where someone has to manage it, not build it, right? When it's time to manage the business, when we go from building 100% new innovation to managing and innovating just at the pace of innovation. We like to innovate now at Sales Boomerang, outpacing the pace of innovation significantly. Right. When we get to a place where there's no real outpacing, it's not me anymore. Sales Boomerang will still exist. It will be run. It will be beautiful. It will be an excellent company. It just, I won't be able to give it the path that it will deserve, that somebody else will. There's somebody out there that loves to manage a business, loves
That's
it
interesting
more than anything else.
People don't realize one thing about CEOs, and you're a CEO, right? And so one thing is that CEOs are different at every stage of a corporation's life.
That's correct. Absolutely right.
So it's not like and I know there are CEOs who've been there forever. We all know a lot of them, right? That 20, 30 years, whatever.
Amazing.
But what you're talking about, it's kind of like that right CEO at the right time to take it to the next stage. And it's not the next level, by the way. I want people to understand that. It doesn't mean that if you're doing X percent, you want to get to 20% or above that number, whatever. It's just the next stage or whatever the evolution of that company could be. And go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I just think sometimes it's the right person did whatever for X amount of years, and now it's the passing of the baton to the next person.
You couldn't have said it better. Think about it just like sports, right? You put in right players for the right plays. Got to. If you're the right quarterback, if you're the right CEO for the team right now, then you stay in that position. When you're no longer the best quarterback for the team, it's in your best interest to step back, step away.
Are you talking Tom Brady? Are you talking Tom Brady?
I'm talking Tom. Yeah, we're trying to recruit him right now. By the way, what a legend he is, right? Let's.
I mean, God. Come on. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore with that guy, man. I mean, it's like the housing market. I'll buy a house when the prices go back down. It's like, I'll bet against Tom Brady when he retires. That's what I'm thinking.
That's the only, and you got 7 years to wait for that.
So I guess the next question then, hunger, boredom. How do you feel about change? Because most people, Alex, you know what I mean? We don't like change. You know what I mean? I know, like, even like if driving from my office to my home, God forbid, I mean, they put up those orange cones that says I got to take a detour and get another way home. I'm pissed off, like,
yeah, he's driving right over the cones.
Right, I've done that, by the way. I'm like, right there's my driveway. Let me just get there. You know what I mean?
What is a detour? I need to come in the back door. What's happening?
Just park the car here, man. Move it a little later. You know what I mean? But so, how do you feel about change? I mean, do you embrace change? Do you like change, or do you like fight change?
Yeah. So, I love change. Well, let me rephrase this. That's an interesting thing to say. Let me go a different way. I accept change. Okay. I accept the fact that
it's a little different.
I accept it because the only constant is change. which by the way is why we're here. We're here to evolve, right? This is why generationally you look at kids today versus kids yesterday, they look so different. Yeah, because they are different. They're evolving. It's a good thing. Everything is changing. Every single thing, everything that evolves changes. Think about this for a second. Every single living organism on this planet that evolves has to change.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it goes away.
So,
So I accept it.
so does that mean that you have to change also? Then you're not the same person you were at 19 that you are at 39.
I believe so. I believe
Yeah.
so, and I would hope so too. But I believe so. Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I fought change for a long time. I didn't want, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to stay exactly the way it was, right? And then one day my life fell apart. I was like, hold on, what's going on? And I had to realize, just like you're saying, change was inevitable, right?
Yes.
But rather than changing, what I found out was that I just had to uncover a lot of stuff that I was holding on to and let go of it. So I
Yes.
don't always have to change, but I had to make my metaphorical luggage lighter so I could then move forward and evolve.
I love that. I love that. And it's funny that you use the word let go, right? Letting go of things. Forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's a big word. That's a big word. That's a good word. There's words I don't want to bring into 22. A good word to bring into 22 is forgiveness,
Yeah,
right?
huge, man. It's beautiful.
Starting
Yeah.
with self, right? Starting with
Yeah.
self.
Dude, I
Yeah.
remember this one it was so weird. Like I got this really good coach and he walks me through a lot of this stuff. And years ago, I was talking to him early on, and there was somebody who reminded me of somebody. And what I discovered was I was still angry at somebody from like 1986. And this was like 2014 or 2018.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know? And you
Yes.
realize, oh my God. So anybody who reminds me of this person, I'm still blaming them for whatever that guy did to me until I let go,
100%.
forgive, and move on. You know what I mean? So I can be free of that crap.
Yeah. You ever hear anybody say same shit, a different day?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not true. It's new shit, new day. Like,
Yeah.
like
That
it's new.
shit drives me crazy. I can't stand that line. By the way, that one gets me. And then what also gets me is it is what it is. I'm like, no.
All right, Captain Obvious. It is what it is.
I mean, come on, man. Give me something to feed off of. All right,
Yes.
good, man. Well, look, let's dive into this little company called Sales Boomerang,
Yes. Oh,
right? Because I keep hearing this name over and over again, Alex. Sales Boomerang, yada, 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 right?
yeah.
Supposedly
I hope
this
it doesn't
great-
get followed by yada yada.
Supposedly-
I see Sales Boomerang and I see a parade behind it. It's just elephants and
So
we
what
got
I want-
music.
What I want you to do, because I've really researched Sales Boomerang, right? I mean, I've drilled down into it. I feel like I get it, but for my audience purpose, right? In the most simplest words, and remember, and keep in mind, English is a second language for me.
Sure. me
Right?
too.
So we gotta keep that in mind. Like I'm still trying to figure out why they put D in bridge. The word bridge, like why is there a D in there? Like I can't
Yeah,
figure
try
that
to be a
out.
kid and try to understand that.
I trust me, I was there with you, brother. So explain to us in simple terms why and what is Sales Boomerang. So what is and then why is it important?
So the best way for me to explain it is one long sentence, but it will be one sentence, but it's one long sentence, right?
Mm.
We tell lenders when somebody in their database is ready for a loan and which loan they're ready for right now. Simple as that. We're in the business of eliminating spam. Okay. We're in the business of helping create, and this is going to be, oh, I'm unveiling something on your show, my friend, that we haven't unveiled yet. John, and please drum roll. There's got to be a drum roll in the background. Let's add it to the editing.
I got it.
You got it right here. All right.
All right.
So here's what we're in business to do.
Drum roll, sorry.
To create financial friendships. A financial friend. A lender should be a financial friend, not a financial foe. And that's what Sales Boomerang is all about, creating a financial friend, right? So you heard for so long our mission, no borrower left behind, right?
Yep.
Now it's that. And how do we take a concept of not leaving anyone behind and also do the thing that people have been trying to accomplish for years? Ready, Fabi? You're going to love this. And then I'm going to tell your audience what we do. This is who we are, why we do this, and I'm going to tell you what we do. For a long time, we've been talking about like in the industry, here's what we've heard. You're going to love this. We've heard, we want to build a relationship with our clients, our borrowers, our customers, right? Relationship. Next thing we heard, we want to build trust. We want them to trust us. Okay. Communication. We want to have great communication. You know what embodies all of those things in one? A friend.
Yeah,
A friend.
Yeah.
A friend. A friend is someone you can trust. A friend is someone you have a relationship with. A friend is someone you have communication with. So guess what? The goal is to be a financial friend, but not just a financial friend with benefits, right? A good lender is a financial friend with benefits. That is the mission. That is the goal. So that is why we do what we do. That is who we are. Go ahead.
So you're
Fabio.
talking about a friend with benefits.
Correct. Heard me right.
Is that the road we're going down, Alex?
We're going down the road of a friend with benefits, right?
Okay,
I'm
make sure I
also
understand
look. It's understand that with financial benefits. Keep your mind clean, Bobby.
Even better.
Exactly. That's my point. That's exactly my point. Financial benefits. This is my point. No, where's the gutter? Get up here. Come up here. We can't see you anymore.
I'm trying, man. You gotta remember, I'm still in 7th grade.
That is.
I'm gonna need another sip here.
Get another sip of whatever's in that glass, in that cup.
All right, brother. Let's do it.
That's good coffee, isn't it?
That is great coffee.
Okay, so that is the truth, right? So if you have a financial friend, there's one more thing about financial friend. I'm moving on to what we do. The concept of financial friend is the following. You know how everyone says too, this is feeding off of everything we've learned over the last 4 or 5 years here in our industry. People are like, the reason we contact our customers so often with things that aren't relevant to them is because they'll forget us. They'll forget us. They won't remember us. They won't remember why we're calling. They won't trust that we're calling for their reason. So we got to send them junk. Think about this. A friend. I know you have a friend and I have a friend. We all have a friend that we haven't spoken to in years.
Yeah.
And the minute you call, it's like nothing. It's like nothing's changed, right?
Yeah.
That's a friend.
Yeah,
that is what we're after. We're after creating that experience right there. So that is what we're after. What do we do, guys? Go ahead.
Stop for a second. Because there's so many questions that we got to unpack, and I know we don't have a lot of time.
Sure.
But
go ahead.
When you're talking about in my mind, I'm seeing little red flags in a data point that you're basically now connecting for a lender. So you're saying, hey, if you're going to be a friend, here's the data points of your friends that they may be doing something that you should be aware of as a friend that they may need you to communicate with. Is that accurate? Is that the right way that I'm seeing this?
Yes, that's it. So what you're saying, Fabi, is right on. So we are telling you, the lender, that hey, somebody in your database is currently qualified and has benefit, not just qualified, not just check the boxes, but there's actually a benefit for them to do this particular loan right now. So call this person, email, text, call to get in touch with this person and let them know you have some good news for them. You're not trying to sell them anything. You just have good news. See how they feel about it. That is what we do. And the crazy thing, Fabi, we do this only for people's databases. So that's their customers, their credit denied customers, their prospects, their leads, the people they've reached out to but they haven't responded yet. That's their database. We wrap all of that with this intelligence, with this kind of financial friend intelligence. And as soon as one of their friends is ready to be having a conversation, we tell them about it.
Yeah. So the next part then is the why part, right? So as a lender, I'm XYZ lender. You guys knock on my door, say I got this great product. You're going to become a friends with benefits to your customers, right?
Yes.
And I say, why do I need this? Because
the lender, why do you need this?
Yeah, because I got a great CRM already. We send them birthday cards. We send them Christmas cards. We make sure that they got our newsletters with recipes for the macaroni and cheese, right?
Yeah.
So why do I need you guys to tell me when they're going to do something? I already got the contact.
We might have to extend the show a little bit longer. Okay. So I'm gonna get to the why. I wrote this down. I'm gonna get to the why it's important to you. But first things first, let's unpack what you just said. Okay. If you are sending recipes to your borrower, if you're sending anything to your borrowers that is not valuable, stop right now. I'm telling you right now, the reason there's an 18% retention rate in the mortgage industry is because this is one of those things you do for no reason. There is no value. Do not do it. I promise you this, everyone that's listening that's in the space, I promise you this, every piece of spam you send pushes your borrower to your competitor faster than you can imagine.
So it's having the opposite effect.
It's the opposite effect every single time. Do not think, oh, it's the birthday car. Don't you think they know that you're doing it just to market and sell to them? Don't you think they know that? They feel
But Alex,
it.
some of them have my handwriting signature and everything.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, those do care. Those are the ones that actually do care. Of course, they took the extra time to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Now, if you're getting a real handwritten note, that may be worth calling somebody and saying, thank you, because somebody wrote that. But anything outside of that, right? Just stop it. We all know what's going on, right? We all know what's going on. I love my accountant. I don't care if he ever sends me anything. I just want him to do a really, really great job every time and never, ever do something that's better for him than me, right?
Okay.
Like you're doing it for yourself, Mr. Accountant. I'm not interested anymore. You're doing it for us. Okay, I'm in. And so number one, you said I have a CRM. I'm sending this stuff. If you have automation just to send things to people every month, stop it. Show me the proof that it works, because I'll show you the proof that it doesn't. Like all day, every day, I'll show you it doesn't work. I'll give you a prime example. My own personal, I've been giving this example for about 3 years now. Chris from MPA, he worked there for a while, and he was their advertising guy. And he told me when we launched the company, he's like, Alex, I got to tell you something really funny. I said, what's up? He goes, I used the calendar that my loan advisor sent me after closing to schedule a refinance with another mortgage company.
What?
The mortgage calendar that my loan advisor sent me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just an example of millions that it doesn't work, because that's not what it's about. It's not genuine. It's not.
Wow.
Does anyone need a calendar? Don't ever send a. Who needs a calendar?
So
No
then,
one ever.
Alex, is it genuine that when the data point tells me to become a friend of somebody, that all of a sudden they get a random call because their equity went up, and I'm like, hey, Alex, look, buddy, your equity went up?
Great question. Only if it's beneficial to you, then it's a friend. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a financial advisor. Just a clear example, and a stock that you loved is about to go bonkers.
Okay.
If he didn't call you, you'd be like, hey, you messed up. If he did call you, you'd be like, hey, thank you. I'll choose if I want to do it or not. You'll choose. You'll probably do it, but you'll choose. This is the same thing. If your lender isn't calling you because you have a benefit, hey, you messed up. That's why I'm going to somebody else. If you called me and gave me an option and I chose not to do it, that's okay. That's on me. But it is your job as a friend to let me know. I'll give you another example.
I love that.
You see somebody hitting your friend's car with a bat or run into it by accident. You're like, whoa, took a picture. Hey, buddy, I don't know if you want to do anything about it, but I took a picture of their license plate. They hit your car, right? If they didn't, it's like, hey, all right, why didn't you? So we're big fans, huge fans. This is all we think about. How do we make sure that the customer understands that everything they get that comes from Sales Boomerang is in the customer's best interest? It is never, ever, ever, ever checking a box for the lender, ever. It's not, hey, we need to do more cash outs, figure out how you do them. No, it's who can benefit from this right now.
But couldn't somebody use your technology in that manner? You're not really controlling how they use your technology once you give them the rights to your product.
Could they spam? Could they abuse it?
Couldn't they?
They could become hyper good people because our technology is designed to alert them when somebody's qualified for a loan with them. So, you just
so it couldn't be used. It could be used incorrectly, is what you're saying. If they
it would be really tough to use it incorrectly because we have to follow all the compliance guidelines too. So you couldn't just. I guess you could set settings really high, like you set your LTV settings high and there's no value for the customer, so you're bombarding them. But you could do that without paying for Sales Boomerang. Just send people mail, which is what happens now anyway. So
That's
so
an
you got the
interesting
nail on the
product.
head. You hit the nail on the head.
That is a very, very interesting product, brother. I mean, now I got interested in Sales Boomerang a while ago, as you know, right? And we talked
Yep.
about this. I think I can't remember what month it was, but I do like the product. I like what it's doing. I got to ask some other questions about it.
Please.
Can this be turned into a B2B product?
A B2B product.
In other words, let's say I'm a recruiter.
Yeah.
I'm in the mortgage business. Hint, hint. Okay. And I have data points for loan officers. So then couldn't Sales Boomerang say, hey, Fabi, XYZ is unhappy with their current company because something is data points is triggering us. You should just call them and say, hey, how you doing, friend?
Yeah.
Could it be turned into B2B or a vendor like yourself says, we're keeping an eye on different companies. Now this company
Yes.
reached a point where they need our service.
I've been hoping somebody comes to us and says, "I have a Sales Boomerang for Sales Boomerang." That would be awesome.
I mean, in my mind, that's where I'm like, because once you create the data points, it's just a matter of what the entry is, isn't it?
Okay, so here's what's interesting. Yes and no. I think it's very important for people to stay in their lane. I think it's very, very important to not jump around and do things just because you can. I'll give you an example. Michael Jordan going to play baseball. Okay. All right. He can, sure. Right?
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, brother. This is what you're the best in the world at. You're
Yeah.
good at
Can you say minor league?
yeah, exactly. There you go. So that's just one example, but there's a
Right.
lot of people that want to that want to do more than the thing that they're the best in the world at. And so I say yes, we could. There is a use for recruitment. It's funny that you use that use case because recruiters use our system all the time. Our system is used to recruit and retain talent all day, every day. It is typically on the first page of the recruitment packet as, hey, you have an instant pipeline when you come over to us. That's recruitment, right? Like Sales Boomerang, there is no talking about crying the blues. There's no crying the blues because the minute you bring your database into a company that's using Sales Boomerang, day one, you have opportunities delivered to you by Sales Boomerang. You don't have to be like, well, it's going to take me 6 months or 3 months to get ramped up. Nope, day one. Okay, so it's already being used for recruitment. But as far as crossing verticals completely and building out a recruitment mechanism, that wouldn't be of interest to us. Like there's
Okay.
so many amazing people that do that already. It's for us, what can we be the best in the world at? And then what can we partner with others who are the best in the world at what they do? That's how we want to think about it.
I'm just thinking about this because you guys are basically walking down the road of AI, to me, in my mind, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for people who haven't connected the dots on this one, I mean, that's what Sales Boomerang to me is it's the AI come to real life and it's
Yes.
guiding me to increase my volume. And at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. And that's perfectly fine for me, right? It's like you guys got the blueprint. Now, how do I use it elsewhere? Because that's normally what happens with any technology, right? I mean,
Right. It's how do you
that's what,
expand? So there is an
yeah,
expansion plan.
yeah.
But it's not going into the vertical that you just mentioned. The expansion plan and what is so exciting about 22. It's funny. I was just talking to our director of sales, and we're we doubled last year. We're on a triple double kind of run. We saw we
Yeah.
got Inc. 5000 101 first in the mortgage tech space, and I said I'm very excited this year, Pat, because we're gonna paint our Mona Lisa. Not the Sistine Chapel, but this year we paint our Mona Lisa. We paint a
Wow.
masterpiece for the financial space.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that this year we are going to start to impact other verticals without leaving the financial space. So for instance, we're going to help the auto industry by
Okay.
helping banks, not by going into auto dealerships. We're going to help auto by helping banks. Because if you think about it, Fabi, for me to go and sit in a dealership for 3 to 4 hours is not a good experience, right?
Right.
And guess what you do when you go to an auto deal to a dealer? The first thing you do, well, let's see what you qualify for. That's a backwards process. That's a backwards process. It should
Yeah.
always be the other way around because then I, the consumer, are in charge of the process. I already know. You don't have to show me something, make me feel bad, show me something else. Well, I know you wanted, like, we don't need to go through that game. I can come
Okay.
in. Long story short, the thing that is exciting for us right now is how do we take this concept and instead of going into other verticals, stay in the vertical, but impact other verticals, right? So we're going to be telling banks when anyone in their database, ready, is not just ready for a mortgage, but ready for any financial loan.
Wow.
That's how you become a financial friend. So every borrower and all the right loans right now, period. That's the plan going into this year.
So let's go backwards on this now.
Okay.
Who came up with the idea for Sales Boomerang?
2015, I was consulting for a company that's amazing. That's the number one direct mail mortgage marketing company in the nation, by a company by the name of Monster Lead Group. That's now Monster Technologies. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Amazing organization run by amazing people. And it was born there. We were going to help create something called a later bucket, which is, here's the following. The later bucket is, hey, I sent out a piece of mail. The borrower called me. I talked to him. They didn't have the equity to move forward. I put them into the equity bucket, and I'll call them later. Get it? Later bucket. It's not a deal. It's a later bucket. Well, I heard this, and I was like, but what do they do then? Oh, then they call them. But when do they call them? Every 3 months. Why every 3 months? Well, maybe something's changed. So we're going to guess to see, and we're going to make the customer guess. We're going to do this all over again. I said, couldn't we figure this out? Couldn't we just tell them when they've reached a certain level? And that's it. And so it was me and the two founders there that founded the concept of Sales Boomerang. And it was 2015 is when we came up with it. We started development in 2016. And in November of 2016, we launched a campaign that said, the mortgage industry will fall in love, because we were launching on Valentine's Day of 2017 as a company.
That's awesome.
And it was really cool. It was really cool.
What
So that's
could
how
you
it
tell?
happened.
Yeah, what could you tell our listeners about scaling up then? Because I mean, from where you were in 2015, right, to 2022, I mean, your growth has been like, I mean, I think I heard somewhere like 3,800% or something like that.
3,800. Yep.
Is that right?
3,880.
Is
Yeah.
that the right number?
That
So,
sounds about right.
so I
Let's
mean,
just round up to 4,000. Let's just make it easy.
I'll give you 4,000. You know what I mean?
We're close enough.
I like you, Alex. I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5.
Oh, all right. Hey, this is good. Hey,
But-
Inc., listen to that.
Yeah, but I mean, at 3,800, I mean, how do you maintain customer service, infrastructure, foreseeing the like, hey, at this we gotta make sure we have this in place. All the things that are required for scaling. It's a monumental task, Alex.
It's a monumental task that you have to love to do. We love what we do. I have it tattooed on my body. Doing what I love is tattooed across my wrist. Doing what I love, always. And we look for people that feel the same way. Everyone that's at Sales Boomerang is there selfishly. They're not there for me. They're there for them. They like it, right? They're having a good time. And if they're not having a good time, we find something else for them to do, or we help them find another place to go. Like literally celebrate them. So number one is that's how we do it from the start. But we launched on Valentine's Day of 2017. I have a great picture. It's on LinkedIn. You must have seen it. In 2018, we had 8 people.
Yeah,
Now we have
Yeah.
now it's almost 80, right?
Yeah.
And so the way you scale, the way you do it, is all about team and people. Team and people. That's all it takes. But to back it up, you first have to have the right product for the right time. Not even the right product, period. Because there's been lots of products that came too early that never made it. Right product, right time. So timing is the key element to any successful business. And then it's the right product. That's number one. And then of course it's people, product, all that stuff. But once you've got a product at the right time, now it's about people. That's it. It's all it matters. That's all it matters. And you do it for the right reasons. You do it selflessly. And when it stops being fun, start doing something else.
That's so interesting. You mentioned timing. I don't think people really understand what you do. I mean, like timing is everything.
It's everything.
And if you're early with the product, it doesn't work. If you're late with the product, it doesn't work. Right?
Yes.
But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you can really time it, right? You just got to do what you feel and hope that you hit it on February 14th, whatever, 2015, and that's the right day, and you move forward.
That's it. Yeah. The best way to get the timing right is just to do what you love. Follow your heart, do what you love, and the timing will come. There's a great song by Macklemore, and he says in that song, he's singing to his kids, and he says, "Don't try to change the world. Do what you love, every day, and one day you'll wake up and the world has changed.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's
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 an
it.
awesome thing. I like that. I like that.
And so for businesses, people who are entrepreneurial, people who want to start a business, one of my favorite books is by David Sivers, CD Baby. If you're going to start now. There's like for all those entrepreneurs, but only start because you want to, not because you're trying to prove something to someone, or because you don't have something, right? You should never do something because you don't have it, or you don't, you know, that's not a reason to ever do anything or get anything. I want it because I don't have it means you're doing it because of scarcity. No, always do it because it brings you joy. Otherwise, why do it? There's no reason. So,
You know, you mentioned staying in your own lane.
mhm.
I kind of go back to that because it kind of ties into another question that I had. I've been wondering a lot because I've had Josh Friend from Accelerate on here. I know you know Josh.
Oh yeah, I love
I've
Josh.
had Andrew Pollack from Lead Pops. I know you know him.
Love
I've
that
had
guy.
a lot. I've really like embraced fintech, which is I think the arena that we're in.
Yeah.
More than I ever did prior to starting this podcast. Like I really like question that keeps running through my mind whenever I talk to one of you guys is why don't you all start your own mortgage companies?
You know, it's a question that comes up for us too. Just so you know, I don't know if anyone else has said that to you. Well, Josh used to own a bank and a mortgage company,
Yeah,
so he's
he did.
been there.
Yep.
So he might not want to start it for his own personal reasons of not wanting to go back. But it's his own. That's his own reasons. We think about it all the time, and or we used to. I don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
But we did think about it. We're like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Especially the market's hot as it is. I mean, we could just print money over here.
Right.
But that's not what I love. I don't love that. I don't love it. I don't love doing I don't think I would love, let me rephrase this. Personally, I would love to do mortgages. You know why? Because I get to deal with people and give them their dreams. Like
Right.
that would be a dream for me, right? Personally, that's an Alex thing. But I don't love the concept of building a mortgage company at this stage in my life. Right.
Okay.
But do you know how many times we've thought about it? Like, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, we know the best systems. We know the best people. We have all the automation, all the intelligence, the process. We would build the biggest, best, most fun company in the industry. But man, we're having so much fun here. I'll give you, this is a wonderful, wonderful story. If you ever read the book from Zappos, I forget what the name of the book is, Tony Hsieh. Tony Hsieh's got a great, great narrative in his book where he says, so here we are, built our first business in our dorm room in college. And within a month, somebody offers them $100,000 for the business. They're like 18 years old. And he and his buddy, they said, okay, let us think about it. They sat down. They're like, well, why did we do this? Because we wanted to do this. Are we having fun? Yes. Are we having a lot of fun? Yes. So we would take this 100,000 to go find something else fun to do. That doesn't make any sense. They said no. They said no. Simply because it wouldn't be fun to say to go find something else. Here's what else happened. A year later, they're still in college. A year later, $1 million offer. They literally said the same thing. Are we having fun? Yes. Would we have to find something fun to do? Yes. Then we're saying no. You know when he sold the company for $200 million, his first company for $200 million to Microsoft? This is the exact story from the book. Snooze, 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 snooze. When he snoozed 20 times, he goes, I'm no longer having fun. I don't even want to get up in the morning. I don't even want to get up. I'm done. So he sold.
Yeah.
So that to me would be the only reason to leave and stop doing this is because of that. And I'm never going to I'm not going to do Sales Boomerang and build a mortgage company. I'm never going to compete with my own family, right? That's not going to happen. So
no, I mean it's just a question I keep thinking over in my head is like to me the fintech guys kind of have the corner. You know what I mean? Like if you guys decided one day, hey, you know what? We're not going to make Sales Boomerang available to anybody. We're just going to keep it to ourselves. Good luck, guys. Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah,
we could fault you for it, by the way.
Sure.
I mean, no one would say, Alex, don't do this. You know what I mean? I'm sure we would say that, but you know what I mean? You couldn't get mad at Alex. It's like he's just doing whatever's best for him.
well, you see what Zillow did.
Thank you. That's yeah.
But look what happened to Zillow's reputation when that happened.
I think I think that's a 15-minute blip in life. I
don't know. Maybe I don't feel that way. I feel like in the back of everyone's mind, they all know that Zillow could do it again.
Listen, the guy that runs Zillow, I mean, I forgot his name right now. I can't think of it, but he came from Expedia, right? Barron or whatever his name is. I mean, he put travel industries out of the business, travel agencies.
Sure.
I'll never forget. I read an article. It was from 2015 or 16, and the travel industry was going gaga over that they had 21% of the online business. And my head said, "What happened to the 79%?"
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's 79% that you guys lost to your online, your Expedias, your Zillow, whatever, these other companies that were out there,
Yes.
and they didn't care about it. They were happy about 21%.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll never forget that article. I said, dude, you got to pay attention to the mortgage business. You got to find out, like, I don't ever want to be hailing, we got 21% in the traditional retail model.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you. And this is for us. And this is, the question of why. And by the way, it's a great question. And, there's a lot of there. And again, Zillow did it. They saw a lot of reason to do it because there's a lot of reason, but
Yeah.
unless you're going to do something that benefits humanity as a whole, then don't do it. And I think Zillow learned a couple of lessons recently.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because they were not doing it for the better of humanity. They were doing better to get their stock price and their profits up. And I'll tell you like this, I think you're going to start seeing less and less of that, which we've already seen that, by the way. We've already seen less and less organizations just doing something just to do it for themselves. People are becoming a lot more conscious about their decisions as business people, which is awesome. Because we all live on this planet together, right? Like this is our planet. Like we're here together, supposedly, right?
I think you have much more noble ideas than other business people. How's that?
It's possible. It's possible. I've heard worse things said about me.
Yeah, I think your ideas are way more noble. But listen, we are at the end of our show here, man, and this has been amazing show for me. I appreciate your time, Alex. I know you're busy. You know what I mean?
Pleasure's mine, bro.
We've had you scheduled a few times, and you finally were able to come on board. I couldn't have think of a better guest to start off season 3 for us. I appreciate everything you've shared with us has been. I hope the people really understand what you were saying today, because there was a lot of nuggets you dropped on us, brother. So
look, I'll tell you like this, Fabi. Anyone that's listening to this, and I've been preaching for 5 years about this. There's almost no more important partner going into 2022 for the lending space than something like Sales Boomerang, or let me be honest, specifically like Sales Boomerang, because of our true commitment to the industry and to the customers of this industry, full commitment. And we do this selflessly. It's just fun. That's what I've been talking about all day. It's just fun. Yeah. And it's a joy. And so I want to thank you, Fabi. I love this show. I love it. I love your personality, the way you go about life. Again, we met and we were like brothers from the first meeting, and that goes to who you are as a person. So thank you for you. And thanks for having me on.
I hope you don't get bored for a long time with Sales Boomerang, though. I do want to make sure you understand that.
Oh,
I think your personality adds a lot to Sales Boomerang. So
thank you so
one
much.
thing I just thought of real quick, by the way, instead of no leads left behind, you should have no friends left behind.
No borrower. It's not no leads. It's no borrower.
Sorry, I was thinking of Andrew, but no friends left behind.
Yes, no friend. No, that's how it should be. No friend. I see what you're saying.
See, I need my T-shirt, brother, man.
Shit, oh my goodness. So here's what needs to happen. So first, we need to bring this concept into the industry, which we started to already. Financial friend, and then we have to change the shirt to no friend left behind. It's happening. Guess what? You're getting the first copy of it. No friend left behind.
I love it.
I love that.
I like it, man. It's got a ring.
And the acronym is NFLB.
Wow, I don't know. We're gonna stop recording. We can talk about the acronym.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because NFL will come after us in a heartbeat. They'll be here tomorrow. No, not NFL. Nice flowers and love.
Yeah, there you go. and the B's for bitches. So move on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. NFL. Now you don't want to get tied to that NFL, do you? Boom.
All right, Alex. Good. I think we've run out of time here. We gotta go. John, please save me from the rest of this talk to Alex. Please do your thing.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Laugh, Lend, and Eat, the podcast. You can now enjoy Fabi's article, Laugh, Lend, and Eat, featured in the Vision magazine. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where each month we are giving away some swag for our lucky listener to show off. Thank you to our sponsors for their continued support, First Option Mortgage and One Good One Recruiting. And remember, you have to be something, so be kind.